Hello everyone, welcome. Hope everybody's doing well today. I'm doing good. I'm super excited to be here again today for episode 30 of We're Here for the Human Experience. Today we're going to talk about identifying our limiting beliefs and uncovering the hidden beliefs that's holding us back from achieving our life or stopping self-sabotage. Many people struggle to identify their limiting beliefs because these thoughts often operate subconsciously. We don't even know that they're playing, and they're deeply ingrained from past experiences, and it can be a challenge to change these beliefs because we're potentially not recognizing them, which leads to the ongoing struggles of various aspects in our life. So in today's episode, I'm going to provide scenarios for you to illustrate how limiting beliefs manifest in our relationships, money, and health. Those are the three topics we're going to talk about today. Relationships, money, and health, and our limiting beliefs around them. And let's face it, we all have limiting beliefs, and we pick them up from here, there, and everywhere. But once we start recognizing that we do have these limiting beliefs, that some of these patterns of behavior we are creating self-sabotage because we have these patterns of belief. Once we know them, then we can start to change them. And that is super cool. So, have you ever wondered why certain areas of our life we feel like we're stuck? And no matter how hard we try, we just can't get out of it, and it is our limiting beliefs. I've looked at lots of my limiting beliefs. I've worked with people with limiting beliefs. It's just part of the human experience here. So, welcome to my show, episode 30, as I said. We're here for the human experience. And if you are new here, I am Lisa, a certified life coach, Reiki master, teacher. And my mission is to help people shift their mindsets, perceptions, heal their traumas, open up closed doors, and light the way to a more fulfilling and connecting to your inner wisdom. Recognizing our limiting beliefs and our emotions that go with that. So I want you, as I describe these different scenarios of these people, and we've all probably heard these stories, and we have these stories of our own, but I want you to notice what images, what memories, what emotions you're feeling as I'm describing them, because that is going to give you that indicator of your own limiting beliefs and narrow it down as I describe these different scenarios. And so the three areas, as I said, is relationships, money, and health. So let me introduce you to Sarah. Sarah believes she is not good enough for a loving relationship due to her parents' tumultuous marriage. And this belief has led her to sabotage relationships and push people away. Sarah's belief about love and relationship prevents her from finding love and connections she truly desires. And it's because of her belief of her parents and how their relationship was. She believes that is going to be in her relationships. So what happens is, from that witnessing her parents' conflict, she's going to struggle in the relationships because she has that same vibe, and she has a belief system that says, I will struggle in relationships, or I will have difficulty in relationships. Because when we are believing that, we have an energy vibe about that, the emotions about it, right? We're feeling that we're not good enough, we're not worthy, relationships aren't going to work for me because my parents, their relationship was difficult. Just because your parents' relationship was difficult does not mean that yours has to be. We have the ability to change our thoughts and our emotions. And we're here for the human experience. And once we recognize and once we realize that you're saying that you're not good enough because you won't have a good relationship because of your parents or past, we have the ability to change. So as we're changing that belief system of not good enough, and just because our parents had that relationship does not mean that we need to have those kinds of relationships either. We don't need to do that. It's kind of like the saying, just because it's been done that way doesn't need to stay. We don't need to keep doing that same thing, right? Repeating it over and over again. So we can actually change how we think about our relationships and what our relationship is with us. We need to look at our own relationship as well, how we feel about ourselves. And if we're feeling that we're not good enough, then that's an indicator that we need to assess around what makes us feel not good enough in whatever aspects of our life that is, in relationships, for instance. So we just want to look at that and go, why do I believe that I'm not good enough? Is it because people told me, right? Do I believe it? Do I believe that? Do I have to believe that? No, we don't. Next scenario is Mark. Mark believes he'll never find true love because he's too damaged. We all have baggage. We all have issues, right? And he believes this because it was from a difficult relationship and a difficult breakup. So if he feels, and potentially that person told them that they were damaged and that they would never have a good relationship, that's their opinion. That's their opinion. And is that is that true? Right? So we want to ask ourselves, is that true? So because Mark believes that about himself, that he's damaged, he's never going to have a good relationship, it causes him to, avoid vulnerability and potentially settle for less. Because what happens is, in that self-sabotage, in the self-sabotage of belief of I'm too damaged, what happens is when in that belief system, a wall comes up. That's the limiting belief wall, or the ceiling, the limiting belief ceiling comes in. And it says, whoop, this isn't going to work. I'm too damaged. So somebody might come into your life who might be your true love, but because you have this limiting belief about yourself that you're too damaged, you're going to, because of that limiting belief and the energy that you're vibing, you're going to self-sabotage. Not intentionally, it just comes up because you have this belief system that is in the subconscious that is sabotaging your future relationships. So once you can look at that relationship or your belief system about the damage in this regard, then you can start shifting that energy and that vibe. But what happens is the belief system, that sabotage comes up, the wall comes up and says, whoop, and then you push that person away. So once you can recognize your limiting beliefs and where you're at, then that will help shift your vibe, because now you don't believe that you're damaged. Like I say, we all have stuff, right? So it's about how you believe it. What do you believe about yourself? Because what you believe about yourself, and if you believe what everybody else is telling you, without discernment and just going with it, then your life is going to be continually in struggle. And those people don't. It's nice to have opinions or different viewpoints, but still you need to discern for yourself if that's true. So Mark will not engage in good relationships and potentially settle for less than what he feels he deserves. Let's move into the money scenario. So, a fellow named John, he believes that money is the root of all evil. How many times have we said that? The money is the root of all evil, right? And that is based on his childhood observation of wealthy people being greedy. How y'all feeling out there, right? How are you feeling when I talk about these belief systems? And especially the money is the root of all evil. How are you feeling? What are you thinking, right? Same as the relationships. What are you feeling and thinking about your relationships, your relationship with yourself? So if we're thinking about money and it's the root of all evil because it's based on our childhood, because wealthy people are greedy, this belief is going to keep him in a cycle of financial scarcity. So there again, what happens is the limiting belief comes up. Bing. Money is evil. Money is evil because people are evil with money. What actually is money is a tool for exchange of goods and services. Money isn't anything other than a tool that we use for goods and services. Some people use it for they're greedy, they're evil, whatever. But money doesn't actually have, money is just a tool. It's like a drill, a hammer, my computer, my phone. It's a tool that we use. So once you change your perception on that, chances are your financial scarcity limiting belief, the wall, the ceiling, is going to open up and you can make more money. Because of that limiting belief that he has, so he will stymie, sabotage his growth, his financial growth. And he will not, because of his belief system that money is evil. It's about changing the perception on that belief system. How we define our lives, how we define what we think about money in our lives. So as long as so within that scenario for John, his life with money would be like this up and down, because he's only going to reach to what he thinks is okay, that isn't evil, to earn or bring in. So we want to watch what we're thinking about for money, how we think, how we feel. Where did the belief system come? Is that because of my parents thought that? What he saw as wealthy people? Greedy, right? And these are the things we say to ourselves, right? Yeah. But once we realize that it's a limiting belief and that we actually don't have to keep thinking that, we can actually change it for something that I would prefer. Money is a tool, and I love money so that I can do more things, have more experiences, pay my bills, right? Money isn't evil. It's just a tool. But what some people do with it can be not nice or considered great, right? It's that belief system. Next person I want to introduce you to is Julie. And Julie believes she is not smart enough to be successful due to her school experiences. And this belief system stops her in her career growth, stops her from financial success. It keeps her from pursuing higher paying jobs because she thinks she's not smart enough for these jobs or entrepreneurial opportunities. Not smart enough because of a belief system that came from school. We can change these things. We totally can. And it's just about recognizing that we do have these limiting beliefs and then asking, what would I prefer? What would I prefer? What can I change? How can I make these changes so that I can open up and not have the ceiling of limiting beliefs or the wall of limiting beliefs coming up and sabotaging my life? Because let's face it, there's a lot of sabotage that is going on. And if we can change our thoughts and emotions in our lives and bring in new belief systems that aren't holding us back, imagine what you could do. Let's move into the next topic of health. Health, right? A lady, Emily is her name, and she figures she will never be healthy because her family has health problems. And this belief has led her to neglect her own health and make poor lifestyle choices, which is total self-sabotage, because she believes that because her family has health issues, she does too. So then she's going to just be defeatist, self-sabotage, and I may as well not take care of myself because she has these limiting beliefs of her family. Just because your family has health issues, it doesn't mean that you need to as well. You can change it. So Emily's belief traps her in these unhealthy habits and leads her potentially, most likely, to preventable health issues. Because if you think that it's already lost, you've already lost before you even began. Because if you believe that in this instance that your family health issues have to be your problem as well, or your issues, and you believe that, then it's kind of like, well, I've already lost, so then I may as well just not make healthy choices, right? So in that, Emily is feeling, right, defeated, resigned to how her life is going to be because her family health issues. We can change them. We could totally change that, right? Another one here is David believes that he's too old to get fit. too old to get fit. And this belief discourages him from making healthier choices. Like Emily, if I have this belief, then I don't really, then I'm just going to give up, right? I feel that that's a giving up. I'm too old to get fit. Let's say you're 50 and you're sitting on the couch and you think that you're too old to get fit. You could potentially live for another 50 years. So how do you want your body, mind, and spirit to be moving through the future if you're not willing to actually, if you believe that you can't get fit and that you're too old to get fit? You can get fit at 80, 90, 100. It's all in your belief system. If you believe it, then it is true, which also means whether you can or can't, right? Back to that. Make your choice, right? So with David, his beliefs prevent him from improving his health, in spite of also what his doctor says and recommends. So if you're not willing to change your belief system, then that is also a choice, right? So we want to be able to look at our belief system and make the choices. We're never too old to get fit. That's just not true. Is that a fact or an assumption? Right? We're never too old to get fit at all. I mean, you can get fit sitting in a chair as well, right? You know, if you want to run a marathon, how do you start running a marathon? Well, you go for a walk and then maybe you do a little jog. And then you do that for a while, and then what happens? Maybe you go for a little jog and then you do a walk. And then you keep doing that, and then you go for a jog, and then you start running. And then you run, and then you jog. And next thing you know, you're doing a marathon. One step at a time, as we experience, as we're here for this human experience. So David's belief system is that he's resigning himself and believing of the consequences. His belief system is just kicking in, and so he's probably going to sit there. But is that really what he wants to do? No, probably not, because as your health, it matters about how you make your changes when you notice how you're feeling. And if you're not feeling well, then that's time to look at your life and your belief system and assess what's making you not feel well, and then change it. Step by step, you walk and you trot and you jog and you walk. One step at a time, because how do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? We've heard that saying. So here are some tools that definitely help me in my limiting beliefs, because it helps me to shift out of them and actually ask, are they true? Most of the time they're not true. We just believed it. So first one I love to do, and I didn't really do it before, but once I started realizing how important it was, journaling. Writing stuff down, and I've talked about this in other videos. Write it down, get it out of your head, put it onto a piece of paper so you can actually see what is running around in there. We're not judging it. We want to look at it for objection. We want to look at it for, as the observer, we want to know where our limiting beliefs are so that we can change them. How we're thinking and feeling. So journaling is huge. Write your stuff down. Here's some questions you want to ask yourself. So what do you believe in? What do you believe in about relationships? What are your thoughts about money and success? What do you think about your health? How do you feel about your health? How do you feel about relationships? How do you feel about money and success, right? You want to look at those things, and those are the questions that you want to ask yourself. And like I said, it's important to write it down. We're not judging it. We're not doing punctuation or grammar. We're not doing any of that. Just write it down, let it flow. Put the questions up on the piece of paper. What do I think about my relationships? And then roll it down. And just let whatever comes out, come out. Then you can review it. It's about uncovering those subconscious beliefs by bringing them to the surface through writing. Which, like I said, I've talked about writing and journaling in other videos. And can't believe how awesome it is to get that stuff out of your head, and helps to release the emotions and be able to discern and shift into a new thought pattern, a new timeline. Self-reflection questions are huge as well, right? What are the so you want to ask yourself, what are the reoccurring patterns in my relationships, finances, and health? Where did these beliefs originate? It's another great question. Where did it come from? And as you're sitting and thinking about these questions and reflecting and being the observer, lots of times, I know for myself and for other people that I've worked with, as soon as you ask this question, all of a sudden it just clicks. And they remember a time, either in their childhood, teen, like wherever, a time in their life that's like, oh, this is where that originated. Okay. And it's amazing because it just kind of goes, whew, like a big weight has been lifted off, because now you know where it originated from. And it's like, that wasn't, is that true? No, it's not true. Probably not true. So we want to check in, and it does definitely help that. So, and then the next question you want to ask yourself, is it based on facts or assumptions? Good questions to ask. So reflecting on the origins and the validity of your beliefs. Look at those things. You would ask other people these questions. Your children these questions. Your family these questions. Ask yourself these questions. Get to know you. What you like and what you don't like. The other one I like to do is affirmations and counter belief creation. And so what that means is that I'm looking at my struggle with money, relationships, or health. And so this is my belief system. If I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not worthy enough, I'm damaged, what am I going to put in place of that? Now that I realize that this stuff isn't true, but my mind still keeps wanting to go there, what can I put in place? Instead of thinking I'm not good enough, I'm going to say I am worthy of love and respect, and I love and respect myself. It's like doing a marathon, one step at a time. But you want to change how you're thinking, the belief system. If you think that you're damaged, you're not damaged. And if you are damaged, then ask yourself questions. Why do you think you're damaged? I don't really like that word damaged, but it's that people believe that. So if you believe that you're damaged, then that really ripples into many aspects of your life, not just relationships. That works into your finances and your health. If you're damaged, that covers a lot of parts of your life. So look into the damage, look into the self-worth, look into your finances. How do you think and feel about all these things? Another one that I like to do when I've got my affirmation, my counter, so I have to replace my negative thought or my limiting belief thought with a new thought, one that I prefer. So I'm going to do that. So the other thing that I really like to do is visualization. Use my imagination. It's important to visualize, use your imagination. So say in the health, visualize where you want to be. What do you want to do? How do you want to look? How do you want to feel? Visualize what that looks like to you. And spend some time, a couple minutes, in that visualization technique, seeing yourself healthy, seeing yourself financially fit, seeing yourself worthy of good relationships. See yourself in there. Visualization is huge, and so many people talk about it, and it's our imagination. That's where we create what we want in life. But if we're viewing our life with those limiting beliefs of I'm not worthy, I'm never going to have a good relationship, I'm never going to be rich, then you have that image in your head. Change it to a different one. Change it to what's the opposite of your struggle. What does that look like for you? What would it look like when you are fit, healthy, financially wealthy? What does it look like? So use that visualization, use your imagination. Yeah. And you can always just set a timer. As I've said in other videos, set a timer for a few minutes and just do these little exercises just to give you that clarity, just to sort some things out in your life and shuffle it off. And if you want these questions, then put in the comments, questions, please. And I will connect with you and send you these questions so that you can have them on a piece of paper or have them in your own, in through Messenger or email. And you can start doing your questions and your journaling exercise and asking yourself about what are your limiting beliefs regarding these subjects, but many others, of course. So, to recap, money is evil. We're not smart enough. We're too old. We have family health. We're self-sabotaging because of our limiting beliefs that create that wall or ceiling. Once we recognize that if I'm saying that money is evil, I can actually change my mind on that. I don't believe that money is evil. It's a tool. So reframe your beliefs, ask yourself questions, journal, visualize, and replace your old beliefs with new ones. What would you prefer to see? Take some time to start a little journal. Do a couple minutes even to reflect on what's going on with your money, health, and relationships. You may be surprised at what you uncover, and it will be, because I know when I've worked with other people and even myself, it's like all of a sudden it's like, holy, there's that information, there it is, and it just poof, opens up so much information, creates that clarity, and gives me that ability to go, okay, that is a limiting belief that I actually don't believe in, but I was carrying it around in my subconscious, vibing it out and having it mirrored back to me. So take some time and do a little bit of journaling, and then do a little visualization technique, add in some affirmations, and start that. That's how we run a marathon. This is how we run a marathon as we're living here for this human experience. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Share with others if you find that this video may help other people. Please, please. I also post these onto my YouTube channel. And if you're willing, please share some of your limiting beliefs, because as you share your limiting beliefs and as I share my limiting beliefs, it helps others realize that, hey, I don't need to keep dragging these limiting beliefs around, or these emotions that I have attached with these limiting beliefs. I don't need to keep dragging them around. Please share, comment, right? Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining me today. My next episode is September 3rd at 3 o'clock, and we're going to talk about unraveling the roots of our limiting beliefs, our common limiting beliefs, and where they come from. So thanks again, everyone, for joining me today as we navigate the matrix of our mind, body, and spirit in this human experience. And if you want more information, check out my website at www.lisahydelifecoach.com. Thanks again, everyone. See you soon.